Welcome, dear viewers, and thank you for joining me today on Restless Historian. Tonight, we are going to embark on a serene journey through time, exploring the quiet, thoughtful ways in which people in the ancient era sought to heal themselves. We will wander through sun-dappled courtyards, gentle flowing rivers, and fragrant gardens, discovering the wisdom, rituals, and tender care that guided our ancestors in seeking comfort and restoration. Before we begin, I invite you to take a moment to settle yourself in a comfortable position, letting your body relax and your mind ease into this calm space. Feel the gentle rhythm of your breath, notice the softness of your surroundings, and allow your muscles to slowly release the tension of the day. As you settle deeper into this relaxed state, I would love to know where you are joining me from tonight. Perhaps a quiet bedroom, a cozy living room, or even a peaceful corner of your garden. Wherever you are, imagine yourself here with us, ready to drift gently into a world of ancient wisdom. If you enjoy these journeys into history and find peace in our shared exploration, I invite you to support the channel by liking this video, subscribing to Restless Historian, and joining our Patreon community. Your support not only helps us continue creating these immersive experiences, but also allows us to improve the quality of our content, bringing you deeper stories and calmer evenings. You will find the Patreon link in the description below, and every contribution, no matter how small, is deeply appreciated. Tonight, our story will take us across continents and civilizations, from the banks of the Nile to the temples of ancient China, from the vibrant markets of Mesopotamia to the serene sanctuaries of India and the philosophical landscapes of Greece and Rome. We will witness how people in those distant times used herbs, water, touch, sound, and food as pathways to healing. We will see how they combine practical remedies with spiritual rituals, and how the gentle rhythms of nature and the mindful observation of the human body guided them toward balance and well-being. This is not just a story of medicine or science, but of patience, care, and the intimate relationship humans have always had with their own bodies, minds, and the world around them. As we prepare to step softly into this world of ancient healing, let your thoughts drift with curiosity and calm. Let your imagination open to the textures, smells, and quiet movements of these long-ago practices, and let the soothing cadence of history carry you gently forward. Together, we will begin our journey with the first chapter, where we will explore the gentle touch of nature and how our ancestors discovered the healing power of herbs, plants, and natural remedies. The story of healing begins quietly in the soft embrace of nature, where the earliest humans first discovered the subtle powers of the plants and herbs that surrounded them. Imagine a sun-drenched clearing where the golden light filters gently through the leaves, casting dancing shadows across the earth. The air is rich with the scent of soil, of moss, and the faintly sweet perfume of flowering herbs. The first healers, guided by instinct and patient observation, would bend down to touch the tender leaves of a plant, feeling its texture beneath their fingertips, inhaling the delicate aromas that promised relief, comfort, and restoration. Every leaf, every root, every bloom carried a story waiting to be understood, a quiet potency that could soothe fever, ease pain, or calm a troubled spirit. In ancient Egypt, along the fertile banks of the Nile, healers moved slowly and reverently among their gardens. Papyrus scrolls, their edges softened with age, recorded remedies for fever, digestive discomfort, and skin ailments, each carefully noted in delicate hieroglyphs. The fragrance of dried herbs, coriander, mint, and thyme mingled with the earthy scent of fresh mud and water. Imagine the gentle rustle of leaves as hands prepared poultices, the soft sound of mortar and pestle grinding roots into fine powders, and the warm, comforting smell of oils infused with aromatic plants. These rituals were not hurried. Each movement was deliberate, thoughtful, a dance between knowledge, experience, and the tactile intimacy of human touch. Across the vast plains and river valleys of ancient China, herbal medicine blossomed with a quiet sophistication. Practitioners considered not only the physical effects of a plant, but its energetic qualities, the balance of yin and yang, the subtle flow of qi, the interplay of warmth and coolness within the body. Ginseng, carefully harvested and sliced, released a warm, earthy scent, while chrysanthemum flowers, steeped gently in clay pots, exhaled a soft floral aroma that seemed to settle over the body like a comforting blanket. In small, serene courtyards, the delicate sound of water trickling from ceramic spouts mingled with the faint rustle of leaves, creating a peaceful backdrop for careful preparation. Fingers traced the contours of roots and stems, feeling the ridges and soft fibers, testing for freshness, assessing the vitality of the plant. The process was slow, reflective, almost meditative, as if each healer understood that the act of preparation itself carried a form of healing, not only for the patient but for the hands that worked, the mind that observed, and the heart that attended. In the sun-drenched landscapes of ancient India, the art of Ayurveda emerged as a profound practice of harmony, blending spices, leaves, and roots into precise, nurturing remedies. Imagine the gentle scrape of stone mortars as turmeric, holy basil, and ginger are ground together, releasing a warm, pungent fragrance that stirs both senses and spirit. The sound is soft, rhythmic, almost hypnotic, like the heartbeat of the earth itself. Each herb is selected with intention, some to invigorate, others to cool, and yet others to restore balance in the quiet currents of the body. Tiny droplets of oils are warmed over gentle fires, their scent curling lazily into the air, wrapping the room in an embrace of calm and well-being. In these moments, the healer's hands are instruments of care, moving slowly, attentively, as if conducting a quiet symphony of life itself. The knowledge is passed orally, through stories, through observation, and through patient, loving practice, each generation refining the delicate understanding of which plant could soothe which ailment, which blend could restore not only the body, but the spirit. Far to the west, in the bustling cities and fertile plains of Mesopotamia, the earliest clay tablets offer us a window into another intimate dialogue with nature. The Sumerians and Babylonians catalogued the use of herbs and natural substances with painstaking precision. Imagine a dimly lit chamber where soft sunlight slants through narrow windows, illuminating the gentle dust motes that hang in the warm air. On a low table, bundles of dried herbs, fennel, mustard seeds, cumin, are arranged carefully, awaiting the tender touch of a healer's hands. The sound of crushing, rubbing, and mixing echoes softly, a quiet rhythm that seems to mirror the pulse of the human body itself. These early practitioners understood the importance of observation and patience, noting which combinations relieved fever, which calmed inflammation, and which nourished a weary spirit. There is a hum of quiet reverence in these spaces, as if the act of preparing a remedy is not merely mechanical, but a mindful, almost spiritual engagement with the living earth. Even in the most remote corners of the ancient world, people developed an intuitive understanding of nature's power. Imagine a small village in prehistoric Europe, where the first foragers notice that a certain leaf, when gently applied to a wound, eases its sting, or that the roots of a plant, when steeped in warm water, bring comfort to aching muscles. The textures, smells, and subtle flavors of these natural remedies are explored with careful curiosity, their effects noted and shared through quiet instruction, through the gentle teaching of one generation to the next. There is no rush, only attentiveness, a reverence for the subtle gifts the earth provides, a recognition that healing is a process of observation, patience, and mindful engagement. As we imagine these ancient spaces, it is important to pause and breathe with them. Picture the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the soft coolness of a leaf pressed between your fingers, the gentle aroma of herbs curling upward in lazy spirals, touching your senses with delicate insistence. Hear the quiet sounds of preparation, the soft scrape of mortar and pestle, the faint rustle of dried leaves, the whisper of water moving in small channels nearby. Allow yourself to feel the calm patience that infuses these actions, the quiet mindfulness that guided the earliest healers. The very act of noticing the way a leaf feels, the subtle warmth of an infused oil, the gentle aroma rising from a simmering root, becomes an invitation to slow down, to observe, and to allow your body and mind to relax. In Egypt, some remedies involve the combination of multiple herbs, each chosen for its complementary qualities. The healer might grind frankincense into powder, blending it with myrrh and a few drops of sesame oil, creating a soft paste that would be applied to the skin. Imagine the faint, resinous smell filling the small room, the gentle pressure of hands spreading the paste evenly across the body, the subtle cooling sensation as it settles. The process itself is calming, deliberate, rhythmic, a dance between human intention and the quiet potency of nature. Similarly, in China, decoctions of herbs were brewed in small clay vessels over gentle fires, the heat coaxing out subtle flavors and energies. The air becomes fragrant with the mingling scents of ginger, cinnamon, and ginseng. And as the healer pours the tea into small cups, the steam rises slowly, curling into the room like a soft veil, inviting the senses to relax and open. Throughout ancient civilizations, the use of herbs was not merely functional but also deeply symbolic. In India, tulsi, the holy basil, was more than a medicinal plant. It was revered as sacred, its leaves carefully tended, its aroma considered purifying. To touch the leaves, to crush them gently between the fingers, was an act of mindfulness, an engagement with the living essence of the plant. In Mesopotamia, coriander and cumin were not only used for their therapeutic properties, but were also integrated into spiritual rituals, bridging the realms of the physical and the sacred. The process of preparation, the soft grinding, the careful measurement, the gentle stirring became a meditative practice in itself, grounding the healer and the patient in the quiet rhythm of attentive care. As you imagine these scenes, allow your mind to drift among the gardens, courtyards, and humble huts of ancient civilizations. Picture the tender green of fresh leaves, the muted gold of dried herbs, the soft, warm light filtering through woven mats and narrow windows. Hear the gentle scratching of tools on stone and wood, the quiet rustle of leaves being prepared, the soft bubbling of herbs simmering in water. Smell the subtle fragrances, sometimes earthy, sometimes sweet, sometimes pungent, filling the air like a gentle embrace. Feel, in your own mind, the tender care with which each leaf is touched, each root measured, each potion stirred. Allow yourself to rest in this calm attentiveness, letting your breath synchronize with the slow rhythm of the healer's work. Even the simplest act, picking a leaf, crushing a root, infusing an oil, becomes a meditation, a gentle practice of patience, observation, and mindfulness. In the quiet corners of ancient gardens, humans discovered that nature itself has a soft, restorative touch, and that by observing, respecting, and engaging with it, they could invite comfort and balance into their own bodies. There is an intimacy in this connection, a recognition that healing is not simply the removal of pain, but the nurturing of life in its many forms. As you breathe softly, imagine the tactile sensation of soft leaves brushing against skin, the gentle weight of a small clay cup in your hand, the warmth of sunlight pouring across your shoulders. Let the quiet rhythms, the subtle aromas, and the tender attentiveness of ancient healers guide your own senses into a state of calm reflection. Across the rolling hills and sun-kissed coasts of ancient Greece, herbs and plants were treated not only as remedies, but as companions in daily life, seamlessly woven into both culinary and medical practices. Imagine the quiet stone courtyards of a healer's home, the sunlight softening against marble columns, carrying the faint scent of oregano, thyme, and rosemary from the small garden outside. Healers would move among these fragrant plants with gentle care, selecting sprigs to crush, leaves to dry, and roots to slice, their fingers brushing softly against textured surfaces, feeling the subtle ridges and veins of each leaf. In the distance, perhaps a small fountain trickles, the sound merging with the soft shuffle of footsteps and the quiet breathing of those who wait patiently for the remedies that will bring relief. The Greek understanding of herbs was deeply entwined with the principles of balance and harmony. Chamomile, with its gentle floral scent, could calm the nerves. Mint, crisp and cooling, could refresh the spirit. Garlic, pungent and sharp, could strengthen the body against disease. The preparation of each remedy was slow, reflective, almost ceremonial, inviting both the healer and the patient to enter a shared rhythm of observation, touch, and mindful intention. In the bustling cities of Rome, the knowledge of herbs traveled widely, carried by traders along the Mediterranean shores and adapted by local healers to the needs of their communities. Imagine walking along cobbled streets where small apothecaries line the way, their wooden shelves holding carefully labeled jars of dried lavender, rosemary, and sage. The air is tinged with earthy, aromatic scents, subtle and grounding, mingling with the faint warmth of baked bread from nearby ovens. Healers in these spaces would gently crush herbs between stone mortars, releasing their fragrances slowly into the quiet rooms, preparing teas, oils, and poultices with patient care. There is a rhythm here, a deliberate attention to detail, as hands move slowly over the materials, each movement soft and precise, mindful of the delicate balance between the plant's potency and the patient's comfort. One can almost hear the whisper of herbs being sifted, the soft clink of pottery, the muted sound of water dripping into basins, all merging into a gentle, calming symphony that soothes the senses and the mind alike. Even among smaller tribal communities, far from the grand civilizations of Egypt, Greece, and Rome, the knowledge of plants was profound and intimate. Imagine a quiet glade in a dense forest, sunlight filtering softly through the canopy, casting shifting patterns on the forest floor. A healer kneels among ferns, mosses, and flowering plants, their hands brushing against soft leaves, feeling the dampness of dew on the morning air, inhaling the delicate scents of wildflowers and roots. Every plant is considered carefully, each chosen for its subtle qualities and its potential to comfort the body and mind. Leaves may be ground into fine powders, mixed with water or oils, and gently applied to the skin. Roots may be simmered slowly in clay pots over small fires, the steam curling softly into the air, carrying both fragrance and warmth. In these quiet moments, there is no rush, no urgency, only attentive observation, reverence for nature, and the gentle practice of healing as both art and meditation. In ancient China, the practice of herbal medicine extended into a highly sophisticated system, where every plant was understood in relation to the body's energy and the surrounding environment. The healer's workspace might be a tranquil courtyard, with sunlight pouring over wooden tables stacked with neatly labeled bundles of herbs. Fingers move carefully over dried slices of ginseng, the soft leaves of chrysanthemum, and the bark of gentle trees, testing texture, aroma, and subtle resonance. Each herb is measured with precision, often in combination with others, and brewed in carefully tended pots. The gentle steam rises, curling upward like a silent whisper, carrying scents that calm and soothe. Inhaling this fragrance, the mind and body are invited to slow, to release tension, and to open to the subtle interplay between nature and human awareness. The patient sits quietly observing the process, feeling the warmth of the steam against their skin, listening to the soft bubbling of the infusion, and noticing the gentle rhythm of preparation as a meditation in itself. Across the Indian subcontinent, Herbal remedies were not merely physical treatments but holistic engagements, blending the wisdom of body, mind, and spirit. Imagine the soft scrape of mortar and pestle against stone, the gentle clink of small vessels, and the subtle fragrances of turmeric, ginger, holy basil, and sandalwood filling the warm, sunlit room. Each preparation is deliberate. Roots are sliced slowly, leaves are dried and powdered with care, oils are gently infused over low heat. As the healer works, they observe with patience, noting the textures, the scents, the subtle shifts in color and warmth. Every movement carries intention, every touch is gentle, every inhalation a reminder of the interconnectedness of all things. Patients may sit quietly nearby, the warmth of the sun on their shoulders, the soft scent of herbs mingling with the gentle hum of daily life, allowing themselves to enter a calm, meditative awareness of the healing process unfolding around them. Even in Mesopotamia, where the first written records of herbal medicine appear, the relationship between humans and plants was intimate and profound. Clay tablets, carefully inscribed with the names of plants and their applications, suggest a meticulous observation of nature's rhythms. Healers would crush, grind, and mix ingredients with attentive care, guided by both experience and reverence. Imagine the tactile pleasure of pressing seeds between fingers, feeling the subtle textures of powdered roots, inhaling faint, earthy aromas, and noticing the warm light falling on a simple wooden table as preparations are made. The process is slow and considered a ritual in which patience and mindfulness are as important as the plant's chemical properties. Across all these civilizations, the sensory world of herbal healing was a constant companion. The soft rustle of leaves, the gentle warmth of sunlight, the tactile engagement with roots and stems, the subtle calming aromas rising from gentle infusions, and the quiet sounds of mortar and pestle created an environment that was itself therapeutic. Healing in these ancient times was never rushed. It was a deliberate, reflective engagement with life, the senses, and the quiet wisdom of the natural world. Patients, by witnessing the care and attention given to each preparation, were invited to slow their own minds and bodies, to breathe deeply, to relax, and to participate in the gentle rhythm of attentive healing. Let yourself now drift with these scenes, imagining the textures beneath your fingertips, the gentle fragrances in the air, and the soft, rhythmic sounds surrounding you. Picture the gentle warmth of the sun, the slow movement of hands preparing remedies, the quiet satisfaction of observing nature's gifts being transformed into comfort and care. In every corner of the ancient world, from the Nile to the Yellow River, from the forests of Europe to the plains of Mesopotamia, humans discovered the calming, restorative power of herbs, plants, and natural remedies. They learned that healing was not only a physical act, but a sensory and spiritual experience, a meditation that nurtured both the body and the mind. As you breathe slowly and deeply, allow the gentle attentiveness of these ancient practices to wash over you. Imagine touching the soft leaves, inhaling the warm scents of simmering roots, listening to the quiet bubbling of infusions, and feeling the slow, deliberate rhythm of hands that know how to soothe and restore. Each movement, each breath, each sensory observation is a reminder of the timeless connection between humans and nature, a quiet echo of the tender care that has guided generations. Let this connection deepen your sense of calm, drawing you further into the slow, reflective pace of the world of ancient healing. And so, in these first steps of our journey, we witness how our ancestors engaged with the gentle touch of nature, discovering the subtle, restorative powers of plants and herbs. Their wisdom teaches us patience, mindfulness, and the value of attentiveness to the simplest elements of life. In their quiet gardens, humble huts, and serene courtyards, they found ways to soothe the body, calm the mind, and restore balance, lessons that transcend time, inviting us to pause, breathe, and experience the gentle healing that nature has always offered. the story of healing continues along the gentle, flowing paths of water, a gift from nature that has soothed and restored humans since the earliest days of civilization. Imagine the soft murmur of a river in the early morning, its waters glimmering with the first light of dawn, reflecting golden and silver hues as it winds lazily through lush valleys. The air is cool and fresh, carrying faint scents of wet earth, river moss, and delicate flowers along its banks. For ancient people, water was not merely a resource, but a source of life, comfort, and rejuvenation. A quiet presence that invited both the body and the mind to relax, to release tension, and to be renewed. Picture early humans standing at the edge of such a river, letting the gentle current brush against their skin, feeling the smooth stones beneath their feet, listening to the subtle symphony of flowing water, distant bird calls, and the rustle of leaves in the wind. In this simple meditative engagement with nature, they discovered that water itself can soothe, cleanse, and heal. In the bustling cities of ancient Rome, the bathhouse became a sanctuary of both physical and mental renewal. Imagine stepping through the stone archways of a warm, sunlit bath, the faint scent of herbs and oils mixing with the subtle warmth of steamed stone. Pools of water, some cooled by underground channels, others heated gently by fires beneath, reflect the soft glow of daylight filtering through high windows. The gentle splashing of feet, the quiet murmur of conversation, and the distant dripping of water create a serene rhythm that eases the mind. Healers understood the power of immersion, recognizing that water could relieve fatigue, calm the spirit, and restore balance to the body. Mineral-rich baths infused with aromatic herbs offered a gentle warmth that seeped into tired muscles, softening tension and releasing subtle stress. Imagine the soft brush of warm water over the shoulders, the gentle weightlessness of the body in the pool, and the lingering fragrance of lavender or rosemary wafting in the humid air. In these quiet, reflective moments, the bathhouse became more than a place of hygiene. It was a sanctuary of mindfulness, meditation, and restorative care. Far to the east, in the serene landscapes of Japan, onsen hot springs have long provided a similar source of healing. Picture a secluded pool, steam curling gently above the surface, soft rocks lining the edges, and warm, mineral-rich water inviting relaxation. The air is infused with the subtle scent of pine, moss, and damp earth, mixing with the faint aroma of sulfur from the naturally heated springs. Hands brush gently across smooth stone as bathers enter, feeling the comforting weight of water enveloping them. Listening to the faint trickle of water flowing over rocks, the distant rustle of bamboo leaves, and the occasional soft call of a bird. Each movement is slow, deliberate, mindful, a silent invitation to let go of tension, to breathe deeply, and to allow the soothing properties of the water to work their quiet magic. In Japan, the act of bathing became intertwined with spiritual reflection, a meditative practice in which the mind, body, and soul are gently aligned through the soft embrace of flowing, warm water. Along the banks of the Nile in ancient Egypt, water was both sacred and restorative, and healing rituals often involved immersion, washing, and gentle contact with the river's currents. Imagine a calm stretch of river, lotus flowers floating lazily on its surface, the golden sun warming the soft ripples of water. The scent of papyrus, mud, and faint oils lingers in the air, while healers prepare poultices, aromatic infusions, and gentle ointments nearby. Patients, fully present, wade slowly into the river, feeling the cool water caressing their skin, the gentle tug of the current supporting and calming their movements. Soft reeds brush against ankles, dragonflies hover above the surface, and the faint hum of life all around blends into a serene, restorative melody. In these moments, water becomes not only a physical healer, washing away fatigue, dirt, and minor ailments, but a mental and spiritual balm inviting patience, reflection, and a deep sense of presence. In Mesopotamia, The rivers Tigris and Euphrates were also central to the healing practices of early civilizations. Imagine the gentle lapping of water against smooth river stones, the scent of wet clay and growing reeds mingling in the warm, early light. Healers would guide patients to stand or sit in shallow pools, the water embracing limbs and softening muscles, while aromatic oils, sometimes blended with powdered herbs, are massaged into the skin. Small wooden or clay vessels might float nearby, carrying infusions or warm compresses to be applied with tender care. The soft murmur of water, punctuated by bird calls and the faint rustle of reeds, creates a rhythm that soothes both body and mind, reminding those present of the quiet patience inherent in natural healing. Even in smaller, remote communities around the world, water was recognized for its gentle restorative powers. Imagine a quiet mountain stream, crystal clear, flowing over smooth stones, its surface catching the golden light of the early sun. A healer dips hands into the cool water, letting it run over the skin before preparing simple infusions of flowers, leaves, or roots to be added to the pool. Patients enter slowly, feeling the comforting embrace of the water, hearing the faint gurgle of the stream and the soft sigh of wind through the trees. Each movement is slow and intentional, creating a rhythm of calm observation, gentle touch, and mindful awareness. The act of immersion, combined with the subtle fragrances of added herbs or flowers, creates a multisensory experience that engages body, mind, and spirit alike. Water's healing qualities were not limited to immersion alone. Across civilizations, gentle applications, compresses, and poultices were also used, combining the restorative power of moisture with herbal remedies. Picture a healer softly applying a warm, damp cloth infused with chamomile or mint to a patient's forehead, the soothing warmth and subtle aroma mingling with the ambient calm of a sunlit room. Or imagine the gentle drip of water onto a wound, accompanied by the careful placement of soft herbal pastes, the combination of tactile sensation, warmth and fragrance providing a gentle, nurturing experience. Each movement is slow and considered, a reflection of the mindfulness that guided ancient healing practices, emphasizing patience, observation, and attentive care. In India, rivers were not only practical sources of water but sacred sites for healing rituals. Imagine the gentle flow of the Ganges, early morning mist curling along the surface, soft sunlight illuminating the water with a pale golden glow. Pilgrims and healers alike would wade slowly into the sacred waters, hands brushing gently along smooth stones and soft sand, while chants and prayers rise quietly into the cool air. The scent of flowers, incense, and earth blends with the river's own freshness, creating a rich, sensory tapestry that soothes both mind and body. Each immersion, each careful application of water and herbs becomes a meditative experience, a gentle alignment with nature and the spiritual dimensions of healing. As we imagine these ancient waters, let your mind drift gently along their currents. Feel the cool, soothing embrace of a river, the warmth of a mineral bath, or the gentle ripple of a stream under your fingertips. Listen to the soft, rhythmic sounds of water moving over rocks, the faint rustle of reeds and leaves, and the occasional distant call of birds. Smell the subtle fragrances of wet earth, aromatic herbs and flowers mingling with the water, enveloping your senses in quiet calm. Allow the gentle rhythm of flowing water to guide your breath, to slow your thoughts, and to soften the tension in your body. Across continents and cultures, from the sacred rivers of India to the mineral-rich baths of Rome, from quiet mountain streams to the wide, sunlit Nile, water has always been a universal healer. It teaches patience, mindfulness, and gentle attentiveness, reminding us that healing is often a quiet, slow process, an intimate engagement with the natural rhythms of life. In these ancient practices, we see the delicate intertwining of body, mind, and environment, and the timeless understanding that restoration comes not only from treatment, but from presence. awareness and gentle care. As you breathe slowly and deeply, imagine the sensation of water against your skin, the soft warmth or coolness moving with your body, the gentle ripples reflecting sunlight, and the subtle fragrance of herbs mingling with the natural scent of flowing water. Let this imagery calm your mind, soften your muscles, and guide you into a reflective, peaceful state. Allow yourself to feel the serenity of ancient bathhouses, sacred rivers, and secluded springs, letting the gentle rhythm of water soothe both your body and spirit. In this chapter, we have glimpsed the profound and calming ways in which water nurtured and healed our ancestors. From immersion and bathing to the careful application of herbal-infused compresses, water was more than a physical resource. It was a source of mindfulness, meditation, and restorative presence. As we continue our journey through the healing practices of the ancient world, carry with you the gentle, reflective essence of flowing water, allowing it to soften your mind, quiet your thoughts, and prepare you for the next chapter of discovery. As the waters of rivers, springs, and baths eased their gentle rhythm from our senses, we now turn to another subtle current of ancient healing, one that flows not from plants or stones but from the quiet, sacred spaces where humans sought guidance from the unseen. Imagine a still dawn in an ancient temple, the first golden rays of sun seeping through narrow windows and softly illuminating stone floors worn smooth by countless footsteps. The air is cool but carries the faint scent of incense, slowly curling upward in delicate, ethereal spirals. Every breath seems to draw the mind inward, slowing thoughts, inviting reflection, and opening a tender awareness to the presence of something beyond the material. In these sacred places, healers, priests, and patients alike participated in rituals designed to restore balance, to calm the spirit, and to connect with forces larger than themselves. The act of spiritual healing was never hurried. It was an immersive practice of mindfulness, presence, and reverence, where the senses were gently engaged and the mind was guided towards serenity. In the sun-baked deserts and fertile riverbanks of ancient Egypt, healing was intertwined with the whispers of the divine. Priests and healers often worked in small, shadowed chambers, lit softly by oil lamps whose flames flickered gently across walls carved with hieroglyphs. The scent of frankincense, myrrh, and lotus flowers mingled with the faint earthiness of papyrus and mud. Imagine a patient seated quietly on woven mats while a healer, moving slowly and deliberately, places fragrant oils and amulets upon the body. Soft chanting rises low and melodic, resonating with the stone walls, carrying an invisible rhythm that seems to pulse in harmony with the heartbeat of the room. The gentle sound vibrates through the air, softening tension, guiding the breath, and inviting calm. Each movement of the healer's hands is deliberate, precise, and tender, a slow dance between physical touch and spiritual intention. In these rituals, the act of healing is not simply the alleviation of pain, but a meditative communion between human and divine, body and spirit, the seen and the unseen. Across the Aegean, in ancient Greece, temples dedicated to Asclepius, the god of healing, became sanctuaries where people sought both physical and spiritual restoration. Picture walking through marble colonnades into a dimly lit inner chamber where the air carries the subtle scents of olive oil, burning herbs, and the faint, lingering fragrance of flowers. Patients recline on stone beds or mats, eyes closed, breathing slowly, as priests perform gentle rituals, pouring sacred water, reciting prayers, or guiding meditative visualizations. The soft clink of ceremonial tools, the muted whispers of attendants, and the distant hum of temple life create a soundscape that invites mindfulness and stillness. Dreams, too, were seen as a form of divine communication, and patients were encouraged to enter a state of restful meditation, observing visions that might guide the healer's hands and words. In these practices, healing was a holistic dance of the body, mind, and spirit, carried forward through attentive ritual, deliberate observation, and mindful presence. In the mountainous regions of ancient India, spiritual healing was deeply connected with both Ayurveda and the practices of meditation and mantra. Imagine a quiet forest clearing at dawn, dew sparkling on soft grass and leaves, while a healer prepares fragrant oils, herbal infusions, and ceremonial tools. The gentle chant of a mantra rises slowly in the cool morning air, blending with the sounds of birds, rustling trees, and the soft trickle of a nearby stream. Patients sit or lie quietly, allowing the slow rhythm of sound, touch, and scent to penetrate their awareness. Tiny drops of oil are applied with deliberate care to the skin, while hands move slowly over muscles and joints, guided by both knowledge and intuition. Breathing is synchronized with the chanting, creating a meditative flow that calms the nervous system, eases tension, and nurtures the spirit. In these sacred practices, every sensory element, the warmth of sunlight on the skin, the scent of oils and herbs, the gentle sound of voice and water, contributes to a holistic experience of healing. Even in the Mesopotamian world, spiritual healing held profound significance. Temples dedicated to gods and goddesses served as both medical centers and sacred spaces where the blending of ritual, prayer, and natural remedies created a comprehensive approach to wellness. Picture entering a shadowed temple, stone walls etched with prayers and symbols, the soft glow of lamps casting long, flickering shadows. Priests prepare poultices, warm oils, or herbal teas while reciting quiet incantations, their voices steady and rhythmic, guiding both patient and healer into a state of calm attention. The faint, earthy aroma of clay, herbs, and incense fills the air, wrapping the senses in a gentle embrace. Patients might lie quietly on mats, focusing on the slow cadence of chant, the touch of hands applying soothing ointments, or the subtle movement of light across walls. Every detail, the temperature of the room, the texture of the mat beneath, the soft whisper of breath, becomes a conduit for restoring equilibrium, inviting the mind to relax and the spirit to soften. In Japan, spiritual healing intertwined with Shinto and Buddhist practices, where the emphasis on mindfulness, ritual purification, and connection to nature created a gentle and reflective form of restoration. Imagine walking along a path lined with moss and stone lanterns, the air fragrant with pine, damp earth, and incense. The healer's hands move slowly, guided by experience and intuition, as they prepare a small ritual involving water, oils, or symbolic offerings. Patients participate actively, aligning breath with movement, focusing on the subtle sensations of touch, scent, and sound, and entering a meditative state. Each gesture, each step, each inhalation is deliberate, a gentle acknowledgement of the quiet power that flows through ritualized attention. In these sacred practices, healing is as much about cultivating inner calm and mindfulness as it is about addressing physical ailments. In Europe, before the dominance of organized medicine, tribal communities also recognized the profound role of ritual and spiritual attention in healing. Imagine a circle of villagers in a forest clearing at twilight, soft firelight flickering across faces and hands, the smell of smoke mingling with crushed herbs and flowers. The healer moves slowly among the group, placing hands gently on patients, guiding chants or rhythmic movements, or directing the careful application of herbal poultices. Every sound, the rustle of leaves, the murmur of the river, the soft rhythm of drums or chanting becomes a sensory guide, helping the body to release tension, the mind to focus inward, and the spirit to align with the gentle rhythms of nature. The interplay between ritual, touch, and observation teaches patience, attention, and reverence, revealing the subtle wisdom of healing that predates written records. Across these ancient practices, the connection between spirituality, ritual, and sensory engagement is profound. Soft chanting, rhythmic drumming, incense smoke, gentle touch, warm oils, and aromatic herbs combine into immersive, multisensory experiences that slow the mind, soothe the body, and nurture the spirit. Imagine lying quietly in such a sacred space, eyes closed, breathing slowly, and feeling each subtle vibration, each whisper of movement, each faint aroma and sound, washing over the senses and guiding the mind toward calm awareness. The act of healing becomes a meditation, a slow, reflective journey in which presence and intention are as important as the remedies themselves. Healing in the ancient world, through ritual and spiritual attention, teaches us a timeless lesson that restoration is rarely merely mechanical. It emerges from attentiveness, patience, mindfulness, and engagement with the senses. To observe, to breathe, to notice subtle rhythms of sound, touch, scent, and space is itself restorative. In these quiet practices, the boundaries between healer and patient blur, creating a shared space of gentle intention and mindful presence, a soft current that moves through body and spirit alike. Imagine yourself now in one of these sacred spaces. Feel the soft warmth of sunlight filtering through temple windows, the gentle brush of hands guided by experience and care, the faint curl of incense smoke around your body. Hear the low, steady hum of chant, the soft ripple of water, the rustle of leaves outside. Smell the delicate blend of oils, herbs, and natural aromas. Let your breath synchronize with this slow rhythm, allowing each inhalation and exhalation to carry tension away and invite calm. Feel the subtle pulse of presence, as if the very air is imbued with the gentle power of attentive care, guiding both body and mind toward quiet restoration. In every civilization, Egyptian temples, Greek sanctuaries, Indian forest retreats, Mesopotamian shrines, Japanese onsen rituals, and European tribal circles, the principles remain the same. Healing is not merely an external act, but a holistic, reflective practice. It engages the senses, the mind, and the spirit. It asks for presence, patience, and intention. By engaging in these ancient rituals through our imagination, we can sense the tender rhythms of breath, the soft embrace of touch, and the subtle power of mindful attention, allowing ourselves to experience a quiet form of healing that transcends time and place. As you listen and imagine, let these soft currents of ritual and spiritual practice guide your thoughts gently inward. Feel the stillness, the warm, fragrant air, the careful movements of attentive hands. Allow the soft sounds to lull the mind, the subtle scents to calm the senses, and the reflective atmosphere to deepen your relaxation. In this gentle state, you can carry with you the quiet wisdom of ancient spiritual healing, that restoration arises not only from remedies, but from presence, attention, and mindful engagement with the rhythms of life itself. And so, as we conclude this chapter, let the whispers of the divine, the soft touch of ritual, and the immersive sensory landscapes guide you further into calmness. Allow yourself to rest in this reflective awareness, preparing to explore the next chapter, where the gentle art of physical manipulation, massage, and bodywork reveals another facet of the ancient quest for balance, comfort, and restoration. As we move from the quiet sanctuaries of ritual and spiritual healing, let us now imagine the soothing touch of human hands, trained by centuries of observation and experience, guiding the body toward balance, comfort, and restoration. Picture a sunlit courtyard in a small, ancient village, the earth warm beneath your feet, and a gentle breeze stirring leaves and grass. In this serene space, a healer prepares for a patient, carefully observing posture, gait, and subtle tension. The healer's hands hover for a moment, sensing the flow of energy, the stiffness of muscles, and the gentle beat of the patient's pulse. Here, healing begins not with words or herbs, but with attentive presence, a deep awareness of the body and its intricate rhythms. Every movement is deliberate, each touch a conversation, soft yet purposeful, guiding relaxation and realignment. In ancient China, massage and manual therapy were deeply integrated with the philosophy of qi, the life force flowing through the body. Imagine a patient lying on a woven mat, the soft aroma of pressed herbs filling the air, the faint warmth of the morning sun brushing the skin. The healer's hands move slowly, deliberately, following meridians that are invisible yet palpably sensed. Pressure is applied gently, then gradually intensified, coaxing tight muscles to release and allowing energy to circulate more freely. The sound of quiet chanting or the soft scraping of ceramic tools accompanies each motion, adding a subtle rhythm that mirrors the natural ebb and flow of breath. The patient notices sensations of warmth, tingling, or lightness, a gentle feedback that guides both healer and patient. In these moments, the act of healing becomes a slow meditation. Body, mind, and energy aligning in quiet harmony, guided by the attentive hands of one who knows the subtle language of touch. In ancient Egypt, healers employed massage and manipulation not only for relaxation, but also for the treatment of injury and chronic discomfort. Imagine a stone chamber with sunlight filtering through high windows, illuminating hieroglyphs that depict gods and mortals alike. The air is infused with the subtle fragrance of myrrh and oils pressed from native plants. A patient reclines on a mat or low bed, and the healer, moving with deliberate care, applies soft oils to muscles and joints. Hands glide over the skin in long, measured strokes, kneading, pressing, and stretching tissues. Each movement is attuned to the body's natural lines and contours, releasing tension and stimulating circulation. The healer observes the patient's reactions, the way muscles relax, the soft intake of breath, the faint sighs of relief. Each gesture is a conversation between hand and body, a slow, intimate dialogue that fosters healing through both touch and mindful presence. Across the Mediterranean, in Greece, physical therapy included techniques such as friction, stretching, and careful manipulation of joints and limbs. Picture a courtyard lined with columns, mosaic floors cool beneath bare feet, and a soft breeze carrying the scent of nearby olive trees. A patient lies on a simple mat, muscles tense from exertion or discomfort, while the healer begins a series of carefully measured movements. The hands press along limbs, gently rotate shoulders, stretch the spine, and coax stiff joints into fluid motion. The tactile rhythm is accompanied by quiet observation, the healer noting subtle shifts in posture, breathing, and muscle response. Sensory awareness is heightened, the cool marble beneath the mat, the slight warmth of oil on skin, the soft rustle of robes, the distant murmur of water or conversation. These elements, woven together, create an immersive environment where the body responds fully to attentive touch. The mind slows and the spirit relaxes. In India, ancient practices combined massage with Ayurvedic principles, seeking to balance the three doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha through tactile awareness, oils, and subtle manipulation. Imagine a quiet room, warm sunlight filtering through latticed windows, the faint scent of sesame, coconut, and turmeric oils blending into the air. A patient reclines on a low platform, supported by cushions, while the healer moves hands slowly across the body, pressing, stretching, and kneading muscles in harmony with the body's energy pattern. The sensation of warm oil gliding over skin, combined with rhythmic pressure, induces deep relaxation and a subtle awareness of alignment. Each movement is accompanied by soft, reflective murmurs or chants, further calming the mind and engaging the senses. Breath slows, tension releases, and a sense of gentle restoration permeates every fiber of the body, creating a meditative union of touch, presence, and intention. In Mesopotamia, physical therapy and manual care were closely tied to both practical healing and ritual attention. Healers use techniques including rubbing, joint manipulation, and massage to relieve tension, improve circulation, and restore mobility. Imagine a shadowed chamber, lamplight flickering across clay walls etched with symbols and instructions, the faint aroma of crushed herbs and incense filling the air. A patient reclines on a woven mat or stone slab, while the healer observes subtle postural imbalances, muscle tension, and areas of discomfort. Hands glide over shoulders, arms, and legs, pressing gently, then easing into deeper manipulation as the body responds. Each touch is guided by experience, intuition, and attentiveness, creating a slow, mindful rhythm that soothes muscles, calms the mind, and nurtures the spirit. In Japan, traditional therapeutic touch combined massage, stretching, and guided movement, sometimes incorporating elements of shiatsu or early forms of acupressure. Imagine entering a quiet, tatami-covered room with soft morning light filtering through paper screens. The air is infused with the scent of incense and herbal oils, the distant murmur of a stream audible outside. The healer applies gentle, deliberate pressure along the body's pathways, encouraging the flow of energy and the release of tension. Hands press, stretch, and glide in a measured dance, while the patient focuses on the sensations, breathing slowly and noticing subtle shifts in muscle tone, temperature, and tension. The interplay of touch, sound, and scent creates a meditative environment, inviting the mind to slow, the body to soften, and the spirit to align with the gentle rhythm of healing touch. Even in small tribal or nomadic communities, tactile healing played a central role. Imagine a healer in a shaded grove or beside a warm fire, hands working on muscles stiff from labor or injury, using techniques passed down through generations. The sound of rustling leaves, the faint crackle of fire, and the soft murmurs of birds create a subtle auditory backdrop. The scent of crushed leaves, warmed oils, or smoke mingles with the natural surroundings. Each hand movement, pressing, kneading, or stretching, is guided by careful observation of the patient's body, the softness of the skin, the tension in muscles, and the subtle response to touch. In these intimate settings, the act of healing is not hurried. It is a deliberate, attentive engagement with the senses and the rhythms of the body. In ancient Rome, massage was not only therapeutic, but also integrated into daily routines. Picture walking through a warm courtyard, the scent of oils, herbs, and heated stone mixing in the air as attendants prepare for the next patient. Massage was often accompanied by rhythmic movement, stretching, and gentle percussion, each action designed to restore circulation, ease fatigue, and enhance the flow of energy. The body is guided to release tension gradually, muscles soften, and the mind follows the slow, deliberate rhythm of touch. In public baths, massage might be combined with soaking in warm pools, creating a multi-layered sensory experience where sight, smell, sound, and touch converge to foster relaxation and holistic restoration. Imagine yourself now lying on a warm mat in one of these ancient settings. Feel the soft, deliberate pressure of hands gliding over muscles, the warmth of oils seeping into skin, the faint scent of herbs and incense curling through the air. Hear the subtle rustle of garments, the distant murmur of water, the soft echo of voices, or the gentle rhythm of chanting. Notice the texture of stone or woven mat beneath your body, the subtle shift of temperature from one area to another, and the gentle alignment of muscles and joints. Allow each sensation to guide your breath, soften tension, and slow the mind. With every measured touch, every mindful movement, you feel the body's natural rhythm returning, a gentle, restorative pulse that spreads from fingertips through every limb and into the heart of being. Massage, manipulation, and physical therapy in the ancient world were not merely mechanical interventions. They were profound acts of mindful care, requiring deep observation, attunement, and presence. The healer's hands became an extension of intention, each movement a conversation between body and mind. Patients learned to tune into subtle sensations, to notice warmth, pressure, and release, and to observe the flow of energy and comfort within themselves. This combination of sensory engagement, reflective attention, and deliberate touch created a holistic environment where healing could unfold naturally, slowly, and fully. Consider a patient in India, lying quietly as warm sesame oil is applied to the spine and limbs, hands moving in deliberate rhythm along meridians, the scent of turmeric and basil blending with calm breaths, or a Greek patient receiving gentle joint manipulation on a cool marble floor, sunlight reflecting softly across mosaic patterns, the distant murmur of a fountain mixing with the soft pressure of skilled hands. In China, a patient might feel subtle energy pathways being released, hands following meridians with rhythmic care, the faint hum of meditation or chanting providing a calm auditory backdrop. In each setting, touch becomes more than intervention. It is a meditative guide, a conduit for restoration, a bridge between presence and relief, body and mind. As you listen and imagine these scenes, allow yourself to feel each sensation fully. Notice the warmth of touch, the gentle stretch of muscles, the subtle sense in the air, the quiet rhythm of movement, the softness beneath your body. Let the hands of these ancient healers guide your awareness to areas of tension and stiffness, inviting release. Allow the slow, deliberate rhythm to synchronize with your breathing, each inhale drawing calm into the body, each exhale releasing stress and discomfort. Feel the pulse of attentive care moving from hand to hand, muscle to muscle, nerve to nerve, and spreading through every part of your being. In these ancient practices, healing emerges from a combination of observation, touch intention, and sensory awareness. It teaches patience, presence, and attentiveness to the subtle rhythms of the body. The methods differ across cultures, yet the underlying principles remain: gentle, mindful touch, careful attention to posture, tension, and movement, integration of oils, herbs, and heat, and the cultivation of calm, reflective awareness. Together, these elements create a full, immersive experience of restoration, inviting the listener or patient to release physical tension, slow mental chatter, and reconnect with the subtle rhythms of life. As we conclude this chapter, allow the warmth, rhythm, and attentive presence of ancient hands to linger in your mind. Feel the soft, purposeful touch, the delicate scents, the gentle sounds, and the meditative awareness of every movement. Let the wisdom of these practices guide your own awareness inward, relaxing muscles, softening thoughts, and preparing your body and mind for the next phase of our journey through ancient healing practices, where we will explore the delicate balance between plant medicine and tactile care in a full spectrum of restorative techniques. As the memory of gentle hands and deliberate touch settles into your awareness, let us now turn to another ancient current of healing, one that flows from the quiet, patient wisdom of the natural world. Imagine walking barefoot through a lush meadow at dawn, dew cooling your skin, soft light spilling across fields of wild herbs and flowers. The air is fragrant with the subtle scent of lavender, mint, and rosemary, mingling with the faint, earthy aroma of damp soil. Each step you take is soft and deliberate, feeling the texture of grass beneath your feet, noticing the gentle sway of leaves in a morning breeze. Here, in this serene setting, the ancients discovered that plants were not merely food or decoration, but carriers of subtle power, offering remedies, comfort, and a bridge between body, mind, and spirit. In ancient Egypt, herbal medicine was deeply integrated with daily life, ritual, and spiritual awareness. Imagine a sunlit courtyard of a temple where healers prepare poultices, oils, and infusions from native plants such as aloe, juniper, and myrrh. The healer's hands move slowly, picking each leaf, gently crushing herbs between fingers, releasing fragrant oils into the air. The patient sits quietly, inhaling the subtle scent, feeling the texture of leaves pressed against skin or mixed into warm pastes. A soft chant rises in the background, blending with the gentle rustle of robes and distant murmur of water in a nearby fountain. Each gesture, crushing, mixing, applying, is deliberate, thoughtful, and infused with attention. The body responds naturally. Tense muscles relax, breathing slows, and a gentle warmth spreads through the limbs. In these moments, healing is not merely the chemical action of herbs, but a full sensory, reflective experience that invites calm and presence. Across the Mediterranean, Greek physicians and herbalists cultivated gardens of medicinal plants, observing carefully their effects on the body and mind. Picture walking along stone paths bordered by sage, thyme, and chamomile, the air fragrant with aromatic oils released by sun-warmed leaves. A healer kneels beside a patient, gently picking a sprig of rosemary and crushing it between palms, the fresh scent rising to mingle with the warm morning air. Poultices are applied slowly, oils rubbed onto temples or joints, and patients are guided to lie quietly, noticing sensations of cooling, warming, or tingling on the skin. The healer observes carefully, adjusting pressure, direction, and quantity, attuned to every subtle response of the body. These practices were not rushed. They were deliberate meditations, a collaboration between plant, healer, and patient, an intricate interplay that cultivates mindfulness and restoration. In India, Ayurveda represents one of the most sophisticated and holistic herbal traditions in human history. Imagine a quiet courtyard, the faint sound of a stream nearby, sunlight filtering through latticed windows, casting patterns of light and shadow on the floor. A healer carefully selects herbs, holy basil, turmeric, neem, or ashwagandha, considering the patient's constitution, balance of doshas, and subtle energies. Oils are prepared with patience, heated slowly, and infused with crushed leaves and flowers. Patients recline on mats, feeling the warmth of oil gliding over skin, the faint aroma of herbs rising, and the soft rhythm of a healer's hands pressing, massaging, and guiding energy through gentle touch. The scent, texture, and warmth combine to create a holistic sensory experience. Each breath draws calm, each exhale releases tension, and the body and mind slowly harmonize with the restorative qualities of plant medicine. In Mesopotamia, healers maintained extensive knowledge of local and imported herbs, using them for poultices, teas, and infused oils. Imagine a clay-walled chamber with sunlight filtering through small windows, dust motes floating in the gentle glow. A healer works carefully, grinding dried leaves and roots with a mortar and pestle, the scent of mint, cumin, and coriander filling the air. Each mixture is applied with deliberate care, pressed gently to temples to ease headaches, rubbed into joints to relieve stiffness, or brewed into warm infusions for consumption. Patients lie quietly, noting subtle changes in sensation, the soothing warmth, the faint sting or cooling effect, the comforting aroma. These sensory details, paired with attentive observation and reflective application, create a profound and immersive experience of healing that is far more than merely pharmacological. It is meditative, restorative, and deeply connected to human awareness of nature. In ancient China, the use of herbs was intricately linked to the balance of yin and yang and the circulation of qi throughout the body. Picture a garden courtyard, morning mist rising, the air filled with the gentle scent of ginseng, chrysanthemum, and ginger. A healer selects and prepares herbs with care, considering both their energetic qualities and their physical effects. Patients are guided to breathe slowly, inhale the subtle fragrances, and observe the warmth of poultices or decoctions against their skin. Each application is deliberate, a compress pressed to the forehead to soothe tension, a warm infusion sipped to calm the digestive system, or a mild salve massaged into joints. The healer observes carefully, noting color, texture, warmth, and patient response. These practices are slow, reflective, and immersive, engaging all senses and drawing the patient's awareness inward, creating a gentle harmony between body, mind, and the natural world. In Japan, herbal remedies were closely integrated with both Shinto and Buddhist practices. Imagine walking along a quiet path lined with flowering shrubs, the morning air carrying faint floral and earthy aromas. Leaves and roots are carefully harvested, dried, or prepared as teas and infusions. Patients participate in preparation, grounding themselves in tactile engagement, feeling the rough texture of dried roots, crushing leaves between palms, inhaling the subtle scent of blossoms. The process is contemplative, allowing the mind to slow and the body to respond to the sensory cues of touch, smell, and temperature. Whether applied externally or consumed as tea, herbs serve not only to alleviate physical discomfort, but also to cultivate mindfulness, calmness, and a reflective awareness of the body's needs. Even in tribal Europe, plant medicine was an intimate part of daily life. Imagine a forest clearing at dusk, the scent of crushed leaves and flowers mingling with the faint smoke of a small fire. A healer selects herbs, sage, chamomile, nettle, or yarrow, preparing teas, poultices, or salves. Patients sit quietly, noticing each sensory detail, the warmth of a compress on skin, the faint sting or cooling sensation of crushed leaves, the aroma rising gently to the nose. Hands move slowly, applying ointments, pressing poultices, or guiding gentle stretches. Every movement, scent, and tactile sensation is deliberate, fostering relaxation, calm reflection, and a subtle restoration of equilibrium. Across these civilizations, sensory engagement was integral to herbal healing. Imagine inhaling the subtle fragrance of oils and leaves, feeling their texture against skin, noting the warmth or coolness of poultices, listening to the quiet rustle of preparation, and observing the subtle shifts in body tension and ease. Each sensory cue acts as a guide, drawing attention inward and fostering mindful awareness. The act of applying or receiving herbal remedies becomes a reflective meditation, where body, mind, and spirit are invited to slow, relax, and harmonize. Consider the careful preparation of a poultice in ancient Egypt. Leaves of aloe are crushed between palms, the faintly bitter aroma rising, the soft warmth of the mixture pressed gently to the patient's skin, a slow sigh of relief escaping their lips. In Greece, a decoction of chamomile and rosemary is sipped slowly, the warmth spreading from mouth to chest, calming nerves, easing tension. In India, warm oil infused with turmeric is massaged along limbs, the rich scent mingling with soft chanting, inducing both sensory and meditative calm. In China, the preparation of ginseng or chrysanthemum tea combines tactile care, aroma, warmth, and observation of patient response, creating an immersive ritual. In tribal Europe, the application of yarrow or nettle poultices invites quiet reflection, awareness of touch, and connection to nature's healing rhythm. As you imagine these scenes, allow your senses to participate fully. Smell the subtle aromas of herbs and oils, feel the texture and warmth of leaves and poultices. Notice the gentle rhythm of hands moving across your body. Hear the soft rustle of preparation or quiet chanting. See the filtered sunlight dancing on walls or leaves. Let these sensations guide your breath, slow your mind, and deepen your relaxation. Each detail, tactile, olfactory, auditory, or visual, becomes a bridge to calm, inviting your body to soften, your mind to ease, and your spirit to rest. Herbal medicine in the ancient world was more than the application of remedies. It was a practice of mindfulness, patience, and sensory awareness. It demanded careful observation, deliberate preparation, and reflective engagement with the patient's needs and responses. Each plant offered not only chemical or physiological benefits, but also a meditative experience, a gentle guide for the senses, and an opportunity for body and mind to harmonize. Through repeated practice, healers and patients alike cultivated a profound awareness of subtle rhythms of breath, circulation, muscle tone, warmth, and relaxation, integrating the wisdom of nature into daily life and ritual care. As the chapter draws to a close, picture yourself gently walking through a field of medicinal herbs, your hands brushing against soft leaves, inhaling delicate fragrances, feeling the warmth of sunlight on your skin, listening to the subtle rustle of the breeze through grasses. Imagine each plant offering a quiet whisper of restoration, each movement a gentle encouragement for your body and mind to release tension, each scent a calming guide for awareness. Let the rich sensory world of plants, oils, poultices, and teas envelop you, inviting full immersion into a state of meditative calm and reflective restoration. With this awareness, we prepare to move into the next chapter, where we will explore the quiet, disciplined arts of observation, diagnosis, and the careful combination of remedies in ancient medicine, bridging plant wisdom, physical care, and spiritual insight into a full spectrum of holistic healing. As the warmth of plant remedies and the soothing touch of skilled hands lingers in your mind, let us now step gently into the world of ancient observation and diagnosis. This is the art of seeing, listening, touching, and sensing the quiet, patient attention that allowed healers to understand the body, discern imbalance, and guide interventions long before the age of microscopes or chemical analysis. Imagine a softly lit room, the morning sun casting a gentle glow across earthen floors, the faint scent of oils, herbs, and incense mingling in the still air. You are seated on a woven mat, your breath slow and steady, the cool touch of stone or woven reeds beneath your fingertips. Around you, a healer moves with deliberate grace, eyes attentive, hands poised, every sense engaged in the subtle act of observation. In ancient Egypt, diagnosis was a careful balance of empirical observation and spiritual insight. Healers would observe posture, gait, skin color, and the subtle movement of the eyes, ears, and fingers. Picture a patient entering a small chamber, sunlight filtering through narrow windows, highlighting the intricate hieroglyphs and carved reliefs on the walls. The healer smells the faint aroma of frankincense and myrrh, noting the subtle warmth of the patient's skin, the sound of breath as it moves through nostrils and throat. Each motion is deliberate, a hand placed lightly on the chest to feel the rhythm of the heartbeat, fingers gliding along limbs to sense tension or stiffness, eyes scanning for the delicate hue of skin or the clarity of the eyes. Every observation is recorded mentally, guiding the healer toward the appropriate intervention, whether it be a poultice, massage, ritual, or herbal preparation. Even in this quiet attentiveness, the patient's mind is invited to slow, to notice sensations, to align with the gentle rhythm of care and awareness. In Greece, the art of diagnosis became a sophisticated interplay of observation, questioning, and reflection. Imagine a sunlit courtyard lined with columns and mosaic floors, the scent of olive trees and herbs mingling with the faint aroma of warmed oils. A patient reclines on a low mat while a physician, trained in the principles of Hippocratic medicine, observes carefully, breathing patterns, the subtle rise and fall of the chest, the alignment of limbs and the color of the skin. The healer may gently palpate areas of discomfort, listening to the patient describe sensations, observing the movement of joints, noting changes in muscle tone or the pulse along the wrist. These sensory cues, sight, touch, smell, sound, are woven together into a holistic understanding of the patient's condition. The process is deliberate, reflective, and slow, a meditative practice that cultivates awareness in both healer and patient. Each detail guides the choice of treatment, from herbal remedies to massage or ritual practices, creating a subtle interplay between observation and intervention. In India, Ayurvedic practitioners refined observation into a complex system, incorporating not only physical signs but also subtle indicators of energy, temperament, and balance of doshas. Imagine a quiet courtyard at dawn, the gentle sound of flowing water nearby, sunlight filtering through latticed windows, and the soft fragrance of oils and herbs in the air. A healer examines the patient's pulse, noting subtle variations in rhythm, pressure, and flow. Skin tone, texture, and temperature are observed, along with the eyes, tongue, and even the patient's voice. Every movement and posture is carefully considered, providing clues to imbalances of vata, pitta, or kapha. The process is slow, deliberate, and contemplative. Patients are invited to breathe deeply, to notice sensations in muscles and joints, to become aware of the subtle rhythms of their own body. Observation becomes a meditation, a dialogue between body, mind, and healer, fostering not only diagnosis, but also a reflective awareness that guides healing. In China, observation and diagnosis were intricately tied to the balance of yin and yang and the flow of qi through meridians. Imagine a healer preparing a small room, the faint scent of chrysanthemum, ginseng, or ginger filling the air, soft morning light casting gentle shadows across walls and floors. The patient sits or lies quietly as the healer observes complexion, posture, and subtle expressions. Pulse diagnosis is conducted with deliberate care, fingers placed lightly on wrists, noting the rhythm, depth, and quality of the pulse, each beat providing a map of internal energy and organ function. Tongue inspection, palpation, and observation of breathing patterns are conducted with reflective attentiveness. Each sensory cue, the gentle warmth of skin under fingertips, the faint scent of herbal oils, the soft rustle of clothing, the slow, rhythmic breath, is integrated into a comprehensive understanding of the body. Through careful observation, subtle insight, and mindful presence, the healer guides interventions that restore balance and facilitate the natural flow of energy. In Mesopotamia, healers employed a combination of practical observation and spiritual attunement. Imagine a small chamber with clay walls and dim lamplight, the air tinged with the scent of crushed herbs and incense. Patients recline on woven mats or low stone slabs as healers observe posture, skin, eyes, and breath. Hands move with deliberate care, palpating areas of tension, observing muscle tone, and noting the patient's responses to touch. Observation was complemented by careful questioning. The healer might ask about sleep, digestion, or emotional state, integrating this information with physical signs to reach an understanding of imbalance or illness. Even the smallest details, the warmth of a limb, the faint sound of a sigh, or the subtle change in skin color, could provide crucial insight. Each observation was an act of focused presence, a slow meditation that engaged all the senses and cultivated awareness in both healer and patient. In Rome, diagnosis was often integrated with physical examination, herbal preparation, and massage. Imagine walking through a warm, sunlit atrium, the scent of heated oils and herbs mixing in the air. A patient reclines on a cushioned mat, muscles tense from labor or discomfort, while a physician observes posture, skin tone, and muscle alignment. Hands glide over limbs and torso, noting stiffness, tension, or areas of discomfort. The physician may gently flex joints, apply pressure, or palpate internal structures, integrating tactile, visual, and auditory information into a comprehensive understanding. Even subtle cues, the faint color change under sunlight, the temperature of a limb, the soft murmur of the patient's breath, become part of a slow, reflective process of diagnosis. Each observation is an invitation for the patient to participate mindfully, noticing sensations, breath, and presence as the body and mind align with attentive care. Even in tribal or nomadic societies, observation was a careful practice of presence and sensory attunement. Imagine sitting quietly in a forest clearing, the faint sound of rustling leaves and birdsong creating a gentle backdrop. A healer moves slowly, observing posture, gait, breathing, and subtle tension. Hands hover lightly over muscles, fingertips brushing skin to sense warmth, stiffness, or energy flow. Each movement is deliberate, a quiet conversation with the patient's body. The healer may select leaves, roots, or poultices based on observed imbalance, guiding the patient to inhale aromas, notice tactile sensations, and reflect on bodily experience. Observation is not hurried. It is a meditation in stillness, attentiveness, and subtle sensory awareness. Across these civilizations, the senses become tools of understanding. Sight discerns color, texture, and posture. Touch perceives tension, temperature, and responsiveness. Smell detects subtle bodily changes or the presence of medicinal herbs. Sound captures breath, heartbeat, and the quiet murmur of movement. Each sense contributes to a holistic understanding, a meditation in attentiveness that slows both healer and patient, drawing them into a reflective rhythm of observation and insight. Imagine lying quietly, feeling a healer's fingertips tracing along muscles, observing subtle changes in your body, noting each shift in posture or tension, inhaling the faint scent of herbs, listening to distant murmurs or gentle wind, noticing temperature changes across skin and joints. Each detail is an invitation to awareness, relaxation, and subtle alignment. Consider a patient in Greece, reclining on a sunlit mat, the healer's hands moving slowly across shoulders and spine, observing posture and tension while listening to breathing and faint murmurs. Or an Indian patient, pulse and tongue observed in the quiet morning light, while the soft scent of turmeric and basil fills the air, each subtle shift providing insight into dosha balance. In China, a healer reads pulse, observes tongue and complexion, and notes breathing patterns, hands moving gently yet attentively, each tactile cue guiding reflection. In Egypt, subtle shifts in skin tone or muscle tension, combined with inhaled scents of myrrh and lotus, guide diagnosis. Even in tribal Europe, attentive observation of gait, posture, and subtle bodily cues informs the healer's choice of poultices, massage, or ritual. As you imagine these ancient practices, allow yourself to participate fully in the sensory and meditative experience. Feel the warmth of hands gliding over skin, the subtle pressure applied with intention, the faint sense of oils and herbs curling into your awareness. Observe your own breath, noticing its rhythm, depth, and subtle shifts. Tune into muscles and joints, sensations of tension and ease, warmth or tingling. Hear the soft rustle of garments, the distant murmur of nature, the gentle whisper of water or fire. Let these subtle cues guide your mind to calm reflection, your body to gentle release, and your awareness to attentive presence. Observation and diagnosis in the ancient world was not merely a clinical task. It was a slow, reflective practice, a meditation in attention, presence, and subtle sensory engagement. Healers learned to read the body as a text, integrating visual, tactile, olfactory, and auditory cues with patient narratives, environmental context, and spiritual insight. The patient, in turn, was invited to participate in the practice of mindfulness, noticing sensations, breath, and subtle shifts in the body, cultivating awareness that complemented physical, herbal, or ritual interventions. In these practices, the healer's gaze is never rushed, the touch never abrupt. Every detail is observed with patience, the faint color change under sunlight, the slight curve of a posture, the subtle warmth or coolness of a limb, the gentle rhythm of breath, or the texture of skin under fingertips. Each observation, each reflection guides choice and intervention, creating a holistic dialogue between healer and patient, body and mind, presence and awareness. Let yourself now imagine a patient in each of these ancient settings. Egypt, Greece, India, China, Mesopotamia, Rome, or tribal Europe. Feel the careful, deliberate attention of the healer, the subtle engagement of senses, the gentle observation guiding each breath, each posture, each movement. Smell the faint aroma of herbs and oils. Feel warmth or pressure on skin. Hear quiet murmurs. Notice shifts in tension or relaxation. Let these sensory and reflective cues slow your own breath, soften muscles, and quiet the mind. Observation itself becomes a form of calm meditation, an awareness that allows subtle alignment, restoration, and the gentle unfolding of healing. As this chapter draws to a close, allow the practice of attentive observation and reflective diagnosis to linger in your mind. Imagine each sensory cue: the warmth of touch, the faint scent of herbs, the rhythm of breath, the subtle shifts in posture or skin tone as a gentle guide, drawing your body and mind into a state of slow, restorative harmony. Carry this awareness with you as we prepare to explore the next chapter, where the intricate combination of plant medicine, touch, ritual, and observation culminates in fully integrated ancient therapeutic practices that nurtured body, mind, and spirit in unison. As we move deeper into the wisdom of the ancient world, let us now explore the beautiful harmony that emerges when various streams of healing, ritual, touch, and plant medicine flow together in gentle, restorative unison. Imagine a soft morning in a small village or temple courtyard, the sun casting a warm, diffuse glow across stone floors, woven mats, or earth beneath your feet. The air is a delicate blend of scents: herbs crushed between palms, faint smoke from incense, warmed oils, and the subtle aroma of damp earth. Somewhere in the distance, a gentle murmur of water or the rustle of leaves forms a soothing backdrop. Here, in this serene setting, healing is not isolated but integrated. The patient's body, mind, and spirit engage fully with a multidimensional practice, each element supporting the other in a harmonious, reflective rhythm. In ancient Egypt, the integration of healing practices often combined ritual, tactile care, and herbal medicine. Picture a patient entering a sunlit chamber adorned with sacred hieroglyphs, carefully carved reliefs of deities, and symbolic imagery tracing walls and columns. A healer prepares an infusion of myrrh and aloe, warming it gently, while assistants set small mats and cushions in a circular arrangement, creating a calm space. The patient reclines, feeling the soft pressure of mats beneath, the warmth of oil applied to the skin, and the faint aroma of herbs rising in the gentle light. A soft chant begins, rhythmic and meditative, guiding breath and awareness. Hands move slowly, massaging, pressing, and gently stretching limbs. Each touch integrates with the subtle power of plant remedies applied to skin or infused into poultices, while the spiritual energy of ritual envelops the patient. In this environment, healing is holistic. The body responds to tactile guidance, the mind quiets under the rhythm of chant and scent, and the spirit engages with symbolic gestures and sacred words. Every element is synchronized, a deliberate orchestration of presence, sensation, and intention that fosters restoration and reflection. Across the Mediterranean, in Greece, the integration of touch, observation, and herbal therapy created immersive therapeutic experiences. Imagine a sunlit courtyard, columns casting long, warm shadows, the floor cool beneath bare feet. Olive trees sway gently, releasing subtle fragrances that mingle with crushed rosemary or lavender prepared for the day's treatments. A physician observes the patient's posture, noting tension in muscles, alignment of limbs, and subtle breathing patterns. Hands glide over muscles with measured pressure, stretching joints and easing stiffness, while a poultice of warm herbs is applied to fatigued areas. Throughout the session, soft guidance is given, encouraging slow breathing, mindful attention to sensations, and reflective awareness of internal states. The integration of tactile care with plant remedies and reflective observation creates a rhythm that calms body and mind, slows thought, and encourages presence. Each stroke, each scent, each gentle movement invites immersion in the subtle harmony of healing, connecting physical restoration with mental clarity and spiritual ease. In India, Ayurvedic practices exemplified the art of integration. Imagine a quiet, shaded courtyard at dawn, sunlight filtering through latticed windows, casting intricate patterns across mats. Water trickles softly from a nearby fountain, blending with the faint fragrance of turmeric, sesame, and sandalwood. A healer prepares warm oil infused with crushed herbs while observing the patient's pulse, skin tone, and posture. Each oil application is synchronized with gentle massage, following specific lines of energy to align doshas. Soft chanting or rhythmic mantras provide an auditory guide, helping the patient's mind slow and deepen into reflective awareness. Poultices, teas, or infused oils are applied in careful succession, integrating tactile care with the subtle, restorative effects of herbal medicine. Breath and sensation become the patient's guides. Warmth, pressure, texture, and scent weave together to create an immersive experience of calm and healing, where body, mind, and spirit converge in meditative harmony. In China, the integration of qi-focused massage, pulse diagnosis, and herbal medicine created highly nuanced therapeutic experiences. Imagine a tranquil room bathed in soft morning light, the scent of ginseng, chrysanthemum, and ginger curling in the air. A patient reclines quietly while the healer places hands along meridians, observing energy flow, subtle tension, and temperature changes in limbs and torso. Simultaneously, herbs are prepared as decoctions or poultices, the warmth and aroma enhancing the tactile experience. Soft, meditative guidance accompanies the session, gentle direction to breathe slowly, to notice subtle tingling or warmth along muscles and energy pathways. Each element, touch, observation, herbal infusion, and reflective guidance, intertwines, creating a layered sensory experience that calms, restores, and harmonizes. The patient becomes fully immersed in a slow dialogue of body, mind, and energy, where every subtle shift and every breath is part of a restorative rhythm. In Mesopotamia, healing was often an orchestration of ritual, tactile therapy, and plant-based interventions. Imagine a quiet clay-walled chamber, sunlight flickering through small openings, dust motes floating lazily in the warm air. A healer prepares crushed herbs for poultices or oils while observing the patient's posture, skin, and subtle gestures. Hands move gently, palpating muscles, noting tension, and guiding limbs into subtle stretches. Meanwhile, ritual elements, chanting, symbolic gestures, or the use of sacred objects permeate the session, creating an environment of spiritual presence and calm reflection. The integration of tactile care, plant remedies, and ritual transforms healing into a comprehensive sensory and contemplative experience. Each scent, touch, movement, and sound is part of a unified process, nurturing restoration on multiple levels. Even in tribal or nomadic societies, integration of healing practices was central. Imagine sitting beside a quiet stream, the scent of crushed leaves and flowers in the air, the gentle warmth of sunlight filtering through branches. A healer applies a poultice of local herbs, observing muscle tension and breathing patterns while guiding the patient through ritual movements or chants that honor the natural world. Hands press gently, stretching, kneading, and sensing subtle changes. Each breath, each touch, each aroma becomes a point of reflection, inviting awareness, calm, and alignment. In these intimate natural settings, healing is seamless. The tactile, the botanical, and the spiritual interlace to create a holistic, meditative environment where body, mind, and spirit are engaged fully. Across civilizations, integration required profound attentiveness. Imagine inhaling the faint scent of herbs while feeling the warm pressure of a healer's hands, observing subtle postural shifts and gentle changes in skin texture. Hear soft chants, the rustle of garments, or the distant murmur of water. The eyes perceive the subtle warmth of sunlight, flickering shadows, or the slow rise and fall of muscles under attentive touch. Each sense informs the others, creating a full, immersive rhythm. The mind slows, breath deepens, and body softens. Integration is not merely the sum of its parts. It is a carefully orchestrated sensory and meditative experience, each element enhancing the others, fostering deep relaxation and restorative alignment. Consider the Egyptian patient receiving a warm herbal poultice while hands massage tense muscles, chant and ritual providing a reflective auditory guide. The Greek patient experiences gentle stretching and massage combined with aromatic oils, each movement synchronized with reflective attention to posture, breath, and sensation. In India, the combination of dosha-based observation, oil massage, and infused poultices creates a layered, sensory-rich experience of meditative calm. In China, careful pulse observation, tactile alignment along meridians, and herb-based therapies combine with reflective guidance to slow thought and restore energy. Even in tribal settings, integration emerges naturally. Touch, plant medicine, and spiritual observances create a holistic healing environment that engages all senses and invites mindfulness. Through this integration, ancient healing practices achieved something remarkable: a comprehensive restoration of body, mind, and spirit. Healing became a slow, meditative process. Each element, ritual, touch, and plant, provided unique guidance, but their union created a subtle, immersive experience, engaging senses, attention, and reflective awareness. Patients became participants, noticing warmth, pressure, scent, texture, rhythm, and breath, cultivating mindfulness alongside physical restoration. Healers, too, engaged fully, their hands, senses, and intention creating a dynamic dialogue that supported equilibrium and balance. Now imagine yourself lying quietly in such a setting. Feel the gentle warmth of sunlight on skin, the softness of mats or cushions beneath, the smooth pressure of hands gliding along muscles. Inhale the subtle fragrance of crushed herbs and oils. Notice shifts in warmth or tension across your body. Hear gentle chants, distant water, or rustling leaves. Allow each sensation to guide your breath, slow your mind, and invite deep relaxation. Every detail, the aroma, the texture, the soft rhythm of touch, the quiet reflection of presence, becomes part of a restorative symphony. Your body softens, muscles release, breath deepens, and the mind enters a state of calm, meditative awareness, fully present yet drifting gently toward restorative rest. Across civilizations, integration was practiced with patience and mindfulness. Egyptian, Greek, Indian, Chinese, Mesopotamian, Roman, and tribal healers understood that healing was not merely a mechanical process or a chemical intervention. It was an immersive dialogue between healer, patient, and environment. The integration of ritual, touch, and plant medicine allowed the senses to guide awareness, the mind to settle into reflective presence, and the body to respond naturally to restorative care. It created environments where healing unfolded gradually, meditatively, and completely, a slow choreography of attention, intention, and sensory engagement that nurtured all aspects of human experience. As we conclude this chapter, allow yourself to feel the lingering harmony of integrated ancient healing practices. Imagine the warmth, touch, scent, and rhythm of ritual massage and herbs flowing together around you. Each breath, each subtle shift in tension, each aroma and texture is a point of reflection, a guide to calm and restoration. Let the integrated wisdom of the ancients permeate your awareness, softening muscles, quieting thought, and aligning body, mind, and spirit in gentle, meditative harmony. In the next chapter, we will explore the long-lasting legacies of these practices, tracing how their principles influenced later civilizations, medieval medicine, and even modern holistic approaches. We will continue our journey slowly, reflectively, and fully immersed in the sensory, historical, and meditative richness of ancient healing traditions. As the subtle warmth of integrated healing practices settles into your awareness, let us now gently move into a dimension that is both invisible and deeply felt, the realm of ritual and spiritual healing. Imagine a quiet morning in an ancient temple, monastery, or forest clearing. Soft beams of sunlight filter through intricately carved windows, lattice screens, or the delicate canopy of leaves, casting gentle patterns of light and shadow on stone floors, woven mats, or soft earth beneath your feet. The air is alive with fragrance, the faint smoke of incense curling into the soft morning light, herbs crushed for healing, and the subtle warmth of oils infused with sacred plants. Somewhere nearby, water trickles slowly from a carved basin or stream, a soothing, rhythmic accompaniment to the quiet movements of healers and patients alike. In this serene space, healing extends beyond the physical, embracing the mind, spirit, and the intimate relationship between them. In ancient Egypt, the interweaving of ritual and medicine was foundational. Picture a healer or priest entering a quiet chamber, carrying a small vessel of oil infused with myrrh or lotus, the faint fragrance lingering as it drifts through the room. The patient reclines, observing the gentle movements, the soft flicker of lamplight on carved walls, and the intricate hieroglyphs depicting gods, spirits, and symbols of life and health. Every motion of the healer is deliberate. Hands trace gentle circles on the patient's body. Poultices or oils are applied with thoughtful pressure, and quiet invocations are spoken in low, soothing tones. These words are not just symbolic. They act as a rhythm to guide the patient's breath and awareness, creating a meditative space where the mind slows and the body relaxes. The senses, sight, sound, touch, and scent, merge into an immersive experience, each element reinforcing the other. Even the soft, distant hum of temple chants or the rustle of robes contributes to a gentle, restorative rhythm. Here, healing is not only physical, it is a quiet dance between mind and spirit, a deliberate invitation for the body to respond to care, for thoughts to settle, and for subtle energy to align. Across the Mediterranean, in Greece, ritual and spiritual healing intertwine seamlessly with observation, touch, and herbal remedies. Imagine a patient reclining in a columned courtyard, mosaic floors cool beneath bare feet, olive trees swaying gently and releasing subtle fragrances into the air. The healer, or physician priest, begins with a quiet ritual. A soft chant, the gentle sprinkling of water or oil, or the symbolic tracing of patterns in the sand or on skin. The ritual invites presence, slows the mind, and prepares the body to receive treatment. Hands glide over muscles with careful attention, poultices of rosemary or chamomile are applied, and the subtle warmth of oils or pressed leaves enhances the tactile experience. Each element, the ritual gestures, the scent of herbs, the pressure of touch, and the rhythm of breath, works together to guide the patient into a state of calm and reflection. In this environment, healing is not only about restoring the body, but also about harmonizing mind and spirit, cultivating awareness of subtle internal rhythms, and fostering a deep sense of presence. In India, Ayurveda and spiritual practices are inseparable. Imagine a quiet courtyard at dawn, sunlight streaming through latticed windows, casting intricate patterns of light on mats and cushions. The gentle sound of a stream or flowing water complements the faint fragrance of sandalwood, turmeric, and basil. A healer prepares warm oils infused with medicinal herbs while observing the patient's pulse, breath, and subtle gestures. Soft chanting or rhythmic mantras begin, guiding breath and drawing attention inward. Oil massage follows, carefully aligned with energy lines, while poultices, herbal infusions, and gentle stretches are integrated seamlessly. Each element, the ritual of chanting, the warmth and pressure of touch, the aroma and texture of herbs, and the observation of energy and movement, creates a meditative, immersive experience. The patient's mind slows, muscles soften, and breath deepens, fostering a profound sense of interconnectedness between body, mind, and spirit. Awareness of the subtle rhythms of the body becomes a guide to inner calm, while the ritual provides a sense of protection, meaning, and alignment with forces beyond the tangible. In China, spiritual and ritual practices were closely linked with the flow of qi and the balance of yin and yang. Imagine a quiet room with morning light filtering through screens, soft incense rising, and the gentle hum of a meditative chant. A patient sits quietly as the healer observes subtle expressions, posture, and the pulse along the wrists. Hands trace along meridians, noting areas of tension, warmth, or subtle energy flow. Herbal decoctions or poultices are prepared and applied, infused with ritual intent and mindful attention. Breathing exercises or guided visualizations accompany these practices, aligning mental focus with bodily awareness and subtle energy. The integration of touch, ritual, observation, and herbal therapy immerses the patient fully, calming thoughts, easing tension, and fostering reflective meditation. Each sensory cue, the scent of incense, the warmth of touch, the rhythm of breath, and the soft hum of chanting draws awareness inward, creating a gentle dialogue between mind, body, and spirit. In Mesopotamia, spiritual healing often involved rituals invoking divine presence alongside careful observation and physical care. Picture a clay-walled chamber, dimly lit with flickering lamps, the scent of crushed herbs, oils, and incense blending in the air. The healer performs ritual gestures, sprinkling water, burning incense, or reciting sacred words, creating an atmosphere of calm reflection. Patients are guided to recline, observe their sensations, and breathe slowly while hands palpate muscles, poultices are applied, and oils are massaged along limbs. The combination of ritual, tactile attention, and aromatic herbs fosters a meditative environment in which mind and body align. Each gesture, scent, and sound acts as a cue to slow, reflect, and release tension, integrating the spiritual dimension into the physical process of healing. Even in tribal societies, spiritual healing was inseparable from touch and herbal remedies. Imagine a clearing in a forest at dawn, the air alive with earthy aromas and faint floral scents. A healer applies a poultice while chanting softly, guiding the patient's awareness through gentle movements and breath. Hands move carefully, pressing, massaging, or stretching muscles in alignment with subtle energies, while the ritual invites presence and reflection. The faint rustle of leaves, distant birdsong, and the warmth of sunlight on skin create a meditative sensory environment. Healing becomes a holistic experience. The patient notices sensations of touch, warmth, and energy. Breath slows, muscles release, and the mind enters a reflective state, fully engaged with the interplay of physical, mental, and spiritual care. Across civilizations, ritual and spiritual healing share common threads. Sensory engagement, sight, touch, smell, and sound, anchors awareness. Observation cultivates mindfulness, while ritual gestures guide attention and intention. Aromatic herbs and oils enhance tactile experience and olfactory calm, while rhythmic chanting or guided breath synchronizes mind and body. These practices create an immersive, meditative environment where the patient participates actively in their own healing, becoming attuned to subtle shifts in posture, tension, breath, and energy. Healing becomes not only the restoration of physical balance, but also a gentle cultivation of calm awareness, reflective presence, and spiritual alignment. Consider an Egyptian patient reclining on a sunlit mat, gentle chants guiding breath, the warmth of an aloe poultice easing muscles, and the faint aroma of myrrh filling the air. Or a Greek patient in a columned courtyard, olive branches swaying and sunlight warming the skin, soft chanting, gentle massage, and aromatic poultices blending into a unified sensory rhythm. In India, a patient experiences oil massage along energy lines infused with herbal remedies, accompanied by soft mantras and rhythmic guidance, fostering deep meditation. In China, pulse observation, touch along meridians, herbal applications, and ritual chanting combine to create a meditative, immersive healing session. Even in tribal forests, ritual gestures, plant remedies, and attentive touch synchronize with sensory awareness, aligning body, mind, and spirit in gentle, reflective harmony. Through these practices, ancient civilizations demonstrated a profound understanding. The mind and body are inseparable in health and restoration. Ritual and spiritual engagement amplifies the effects of touch and herbal remedies, while sensory attentiveness enhances mindfulness and reflection. Healing becomes a slow, layered experience in which physical, mental, and spiritual dimensions converge. Breath deepens, muscles release, attention quiets, and subtle energy flows harmoniously. The patient participates in the process, noticing sensations, aroma, warmth, texture, and rhythm, cultivating calm presence alongside physical restoration. Imagine yourself in this timeless space. Feel warmth, pressure, and texture across your skin. Inhale the gentle fragrance of herbs and incense. Notice the rhythm of your breath. Hear the faint murmur of chants or water. Observe the filtered sunlight across surfaces. Allow each sensory cue to guide attention inward, slowing thought, softening muscles, and quieting the mind. Let the integrated power of ritual, touch, and herbal healing surround you like a gentle current, aligning body, mind, and spirit in a meditative state. Each breath, each subtle shift in posture or energy, each aroma and texture is a point of focus, a gentle invitation to rest, reflect, and restore. Across cultures and centuries, ritual and spiritual healing remind us that health is more than the absence of illness. It is the alignment of body, mind, and spirit, the careful attention to subtle cues, the meditative engagement of senses, and the reflective cultivation of calm presence. Healing is not a rushed process. It is a layered, immersive experience that unfolds gradually, inviting awareness, mindfulness, and deep relaxation. The ancients understood that every touch, every scent, every chant, every poultice is a part of a larger whole, a rhythm that harmonizes internal and external life, guiding patient and healer alike toward restorative balance. As this chapter comes to a close, carry the gentle awareness of these practices with you. Feel warmth in muscles, softness in breath, subtle energy flowing through limbs, and calmness settling over thoughts. Imagine scents of herbs and incense lingering in your mind, soft chants echoing quietly, and sunlight casting soothing patterns on surfaces around you. The wisdom of ritual and spiritual healing, the gentle power of touch, and the subtle effects of herbal remedies weave together into a meditative tapestry, inviting deep reflection, calm, and restorative rest. In the next chapter, we will journey into the legacies of ancient healing practices and explore how these integrated traditions influenced later civilizations, medieval medicine, and even the foundations of modern holistic approaches, continuing our reflective, sensory, and meditative exploration of human health and wellness across time. As we move gently from the intimate spaces of ancient temples, courtyards, and forest clearings, let us now consider the enduring legacies of these healing practices which have rippled through centuries, subtly shaping the ways humans care for their bodies, minds, and spirits. Imagine standing in a quiet, sunlit museum gallery, or perhaps in a library where the faint aroma of parchment, ink, and aged wood fills the air. The walls are lined with scrolls, manuscripts, and faded illustrations of medicinal herbs, anatomical sketches, and ritual diagrams. You feel the quiet weight of history pressing softly around you, not as a burden, but as an invitation to slow, reflect, and absorb the accumulated wisdom of countless generations. Each artifact, each image, is a whisper from the past, guiding you to consider the ways humans have understood the body, disease, and the intricate connection between mind and spirit. In ancient Egypt, the foundations laid by healers and priests persisted long after the civilization itself shifted. Their careful observation of posture, breath, and subtle bodily cues, combined with the integration of ritual, touch, and plant remedies, influenced medical practice for centuries. The knowledge of herbal infusions, poultices, and aromatic oils traveled along trade routes, blending into the practices of neighboring civilizations. Imagine a Roman physician in a courtyard carefully observing a patient, using oils derived from plants first cultivated along the Nile and applying techniques rooted in Egyptian touch therapy. The faint scent of lotus and myrrh still guides attention, while rituals of protection and invocation of divine or natural forces provide reflective calm. Here, ancient Egyptian practices ripple across time, their sensory richness and holistic integration seeping into the broader understanding of healing. In Greece and later Rome, Hippocratic principles of observation and rational diagnosis, painstakingly noting posture, skin color, and pulse, laid a foundation for empirical medicine, but the ancients never separated this from the mind or spirit. Consider a Roman bathhouse or healing sanctuary, sunlight filtering through columns onto mosaic floors. Patients recline on smooth stone slabs while physicians observe breath, posture, and muscular tension. Oils and poultices are applied, gentle, pressure guides muscles and ritual gestures accompany treatment. Herbs such as rosemary, lavender, and chamomile are blended into ointments and teas, their fragrance guiding breath and awareness. Through this sensory, meditative environment, the ancients reinforced the understanding that the mind's state and the body's health are deeply intertwined. Even centuries later, the careful observation of these healers influenced medieval medicine, laying the groundwork for integrating physical, mental, and spiritual care. In India, the holistic integration of Ayurveda continued to thrive, linking touch, herbal remedies, meditation, and ritual in a delicate, meditative dance. Imagine a quiet Ayurvedic clinic at dawn, sunlight streaming through latticed windows onto polished wooden floors, the faint scent of turmeric, sandalwood, and basil filling the air. Practitioners continue the traditions of pulse observation, energy alignment, and herbal integration. Patients breathe slowly, muscles soften under carefully applied oils, poultices and teas complement tactile therapy, and chants or soft mantras guide reflective awareness. This ancient wisdom traveled across time and borders, influencing holistic practices in other regions, inspiring the slow, mindful approaches seen in modern massage therapy, yoga, and integrative medicine. The meditative, sensory-rich environments of ancient healing remain embedded in contemporary practices, a testament to the enduring power of observation, ritual, and attentiveness to mind-body connection. In China, the principles of qi, yin, and yang, and meridian-based therapies continued to shape health practices for millennia. Imagine a patient reclining in a quiet room with soft, filtered sunlight, the scent of chrysanthemum, ginseng, and ginger rising gently. The practitioner palpates along meridians, observes posture, and notes subtle energetic shifts, all while applying herbal poultices and guiding the patient through breath awareness. These practices influenced not only traditional Chinese medicine for centuries, but also inspired complementary practices worldwide, including acupuncture, acupressure, and herbal therapies used in integrative medicine today. The meditative rhythm of treatment, combined with sensory engagement and reflective observation, continues to echo across time, fostering calm, mindfulness, and restorative care. In Mesopotamia, the interplay of ritual, tactile attention, and herbal remedies left an enduring mark on subsequent civilizations. Imagine the faint scent of herbs and incense in a quiet clay-walled chamber, oil-stained hands moving slowly over tense muscles, fingers tracing subtle energy or muscular tension, accompanied by chants or invocations. These ancient practices influenced healing in nearby regions where ritual, observation, and herbal integration were adapted, expanded, and recorded in manuscripts and texts. The careful attention to sensory detail, mindfulness, and integration of mind and body persists even today in forms of energy healing, massage therapy, and holistic care. Even in tribal and nomadic cultures, the sensory-rich reflective healing practices that integrated touch, herbs, and ritual informed the development of ethnobotany, holistic therapies, and mindful practices across continents. Imagine a patient lying in a forest clearing, sunlight filtering through leaves, the faint hum of insects and water in the distance, a healer's hands moving with gentle pressure along limbs, a poultice applied to a sore muscle, and soft chants guiding breath and attention. These intimate practices inform the understanding of plants, movement, and ritual in ways that persist in modern herbalism, yoga, and meditative therapies. The wisdom of these societies emphasized attentiveness, reflection, and the mind-body spirit connection, principles that have transcended time to influence contemporary holistic care. Across civilizations, a common thread emerges: the awareness that health is not merely a physical state, but a dynamic interplay of body, mind, and spirit. Observation, touch, herbal remedies, and ritual practices were not isolated elements. They were integrated, meditative, and sensory experiences that cultivated awareness, calm, and restorative alignment. Modern holistic medicine, mindfulness practices, yoga, meditation, massage therapy, and herbal therapies echo these principles. In each, there is an emphasis on slowing, observing, integrating, and reflecting, a deliberate attention to sensory and internal states that mirrors the rhythms of ancient healing. Consider a modern massage session infused with essential oils, the gentle pressure and movement along muscles, creating sensory awareness, calming breath, and reflective mindfulness. Picture a yoga class, the mind guided to subtle postures, breath, observation, and alignment with energy or intention, echoing the gentle alignment practices of Ayurveda and Chinese medicine. Herbal teas, poultices, or warm compresses draw on the olfactory and tactile experiences of the ancients, inviting presence, slow reflection, and meditative calm. The modern patient, like their ancient counterparts, engages fully, noticing warmth, tension, aroma, and texture, cultivating awareness, releasing stress, and aligning mind, body, and spirit. Even scientific medicine, with its emphasis on observation, diagnosis, and intervention, carries the echoes of these ancient practices. The careful recording of symptoms, the attention to posture, color, and subtle physical cues, and the integration of patient experience and lifestyle considerations all resonate with practices of Hippocratic Greece, Rome, India, China, and Egypt. While contemporary medicine relies heavily on technology and pharmacology, the underlying principles of careful observation, attentive touch, and holistic awareness remain, bridging the gap between ancient wisdom and modern application. Imagine standing in a quiet modern clinic, the hum of air and distant footsteps blending into soft background noise. A practitioner observes posture, breathing, and subtle cues, palpates muscles with gentle pressure, applies warmth or herbal compresses, and guides breath or visualization. The faint scent of essential oils, the soft pressure of touch, and the gentle rhythm of observation and guidance create a meditative, restorative experience. Here, the legacy of ancient healing continues, not as a relic, but as a living, breathing practice, blending empirical observation with sensory engagement, mindful attention, and holistic integration. Consider, too, meditation and mindfulness practices that trace directly to ancient traditions. The soft chanting of mantras, the slow observation of breath, the deliberate alignment of posture, the awareness of subtle sensations, and the integration of sensory and mental focus are all rooted in ancient healing philosophies. The goal remains, consistent across centuries, to cultivate calm, reflective presence, restorative alignment, and harmonious integration of mind, body, and spirit. Each modern meditation session carries echoes of ancient courtyards, temples, and forest clearings, where touch, scent, sight, and sound guided awareness, relaxation, and healing. Even the use of herbal remedies in modern wellness, soothing teas, infused oils, poultices, and dietary herbs, maintains a direct lineage to ancient practices. The sensory awareness invoked by scent, warmth, and taste mirrors the attentiveness of ancient healers, reinforcing the subtle connection between mind and body. Ingesting a carefully prepared tea or applying a poultice is not merely a mechanical act. It is a deliberate engagement of the senses, a slow, reflective ritual that invites calm, awareness, and alignment. Ancient knowledge lives in these modern acts, connecting us tangibly to centuries of observation, reflection, and meditative care. Across all these threads, the spiritual, ritual, tactile, herbal, and observational, the enduring legacy of ancient healing becomes clear. Health is not merely a condition to be measured or treated, it is a meditative practice, a slow, reflective awareness, a multi-sensory dialogue between mind, body, and spirit. The rhythms of breath, touch, aroma, and observation guide awareness inward, fostering relaxation, clarity, and restoration. Ancient practices were immersive, reflective, and intentional. Their influence persists, shaping modern approaches that value holistic care, mindfulness, and sensory engagement. Imagine lying quietly in a modern space, warm and safe. Feel the gentle pressure of hands moving over muscles, the faint aroma of herbs curling in the air, soft chants or guided breathing weaving a rhythm, sunlight or soft lamplight filtering across surfaces, subtle warmth or coolness on the skin. Each sensation is a gentle anchor, drawing attention inward, slowing thought, relaxing muscles, and aligning body, mind, and spirit. This is the living legacy of ancient healing, timeless wisdom guiding restorative awareness, mindfulness, and reflective calm. As we close this chapter, allow the enduring power of these ancient practices to settle within you. Notice the interplay of breath, sensation, posture, energy, and awareness. Carry the calm, meditative rhythm of ritual, touch, and herbal wisdom into your own consciousness, feeling muscles soften, thoughts settle, and subtle energy flow harmoniously. Ancient healing has left a timeless imprint, connecting us to generations of wisdom, mindful presence, and restorative care. It teaches us that health is not merely the absence of imbalance, but the active cultivation of calm, attentive, and reflective awareness, a practice as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. In the next chapter, we will gently explore the daily lives of ancient people through the lens of wellness, self-care, and preventive health practices, connecting the rituals, observations, and plant-based therapies we have studied to the lived experiences of those who first cultivated these timeless traditions. As we continue our journey through the rich tapestry of ancient healing, let us now turn our attention to the quiet rhythms of daily life and the preventive practices that shaped the health and well-being of civilizations long ago. Imagine yourself walking through the streets of a sunlit village, temple town, or bustling city of antiquity. The air carries subtle scents of freshly baked bread, crushed herbs, warm oils, and the faint aroma of smoke from hearth fires. Cobblestones or packed earth shift gently beneath your feet as you move slowly, noticing the patterns of daily activity, people carrying water, tending gardens, preparing meals, and engaging in rituals of cleanliness, nourishment, and reflection. In this immersive scene, wellness is not confined to special chambers or temples. It is woven into the fabric of daily life. From morning routines to communal meals, movement, and mindful observation. In ancient Egypt, preventive health was a delicate interplay of hygiene, diet, movement, and spiritual awareness. Picture a family rising with the sun, the air still cool, dew glistening on reeds by the Nile. Water is drawn from the river or stored cisterns for bathing, washing, and gentle ablutions. The sensation of water on skin is refreshing and grounding, a ritual that prepares the body and mind for the day ahead. Daily grooming is accompanied by scented oils, lotus, myrrh, and frankincense, applied with soft pressure, massaging the skin and stimulating circulation. Even the preparation of food is mindful. Grains are ground, vegetables washed and chopped, and herbs selected for their subtle flavors and restorative qualities. Each act, touch, smell, taste, and observation is a moment of attentiveness, cultivating awareness and nourishing the body. Movement through the day, whether walking along riverbanks, tending animals, or stretching after bathing, integrates physical activity with reflective observation, aligning muscles, breath, and posture in a natural rhythm. In Greece, daily routines intertwine physical exercise, dietary mindfulness, and philosophical reflection. Imagine walking along the sun-dappled paths of a polis, hearing the distant hum of voices discussing ethics, logic, and the balance of life. Citizens rise early to engage in gentle stretching, calisthenics, or practice with light weapons, movements that strengthen muscles, stimulate circulation, and cultivate mental alertness. Baths and ablutions are central. The sensation of warm water, scented oils, and gentle massage invigorates the body while calming the mind. Meals are prepared with attention to balance. Grains, fruits, vegetables, and moderate quantities of meat are selected not only for nourishment, but for their perceived effects on humors and temperament. Herbs such as oregano, thyme, and fennel are included both for taste and subtle restorative properties. The combination of mindful preparation, sensory awareness, physical activity, and reflective thought embodies a holistic approach to daily wellness. In India, Ayurvedic principles guide daily life through routines that harmonize with nature and the body's internal rhythms. Imagine rising before dawn, the sky soft with pastel hues, the air cool and fragrant with early blooms. Gentle oil massages, known as abhyanga, are applied along energy channels, stimulating circulation and warming muscles. Breath is observed and regulated, preparing the mind for meditation and mindful engagement with the day. Drinking warm water infused with herbs, chewing spices like ginger or fennel, and selecting foods according to dosha balances the internal systems. Walking slowly through gardens, tending plants, or practicing gentle postures harmonizes movement with natural surroundings. Every act, touch, scent, taste, and observation becomes an opportunity for mindful reflection, reinforcing the integration of mind, body, and spirit. In China, preventive wellness was deeply tied to seasonal cycles, dietary observation, and energy alignment. Imagine a quiet morning in a courtyard, sunlight filtering through bamboo screens, birdsong punctuating the soft rhythm of daily activity. Gentle stretches, qigong, or tai chi practice engage muscles, joints, and energy pathways, fostering circulation and alert awareness. Breakfasts include grains, vegetables, and teas prepared to balance yin and yang, warming or cooling the body as needed. The scent of chrysanthemum or ginger infuses the air, stimulating the senses while reinforcing mindful attention. Ablutions and grooming are carefully observed, washing the face and hands with attention, using oils or medicinal herbs to maintain skin and hair health. Throughout the day, movement, diet, and reflective observation are synchronized with seasonal and environmental cues, supporting a proactive, sensory-rich approach to wellness. In Mesopotamia, daily life involved careful attention to sanitation, diet, and ritual observances. Imagine a household preparing for the day, Water is fetched for washing and cooking, herbs are crushed for teas and poultices, grains are prepared and fermented for bread. Families observe regular rituals of purification and alignment, lighting small fires or incense, chanting prayers, and maintaining clean spaces. Each action, washing hands, selecting herbs, kneading dough, tending animals, is performed with mindful attention to detail, integrating sensory awareness, ritual significance, and physical care. The interplay of touch, smell, and visual observation fosters a meditative rhythm in daily life, allowing both practical needs and reflective awareness to coexist. Even in nomadic and tribal societies, daily routines were imbued with preventive wellness practices. Imagine waking in a tent or forest clearing, the faint scent of earth, leaves, and smoldering herbs mingling in the air. Gentle stretches, walking barefoot over soft grass or sand, and the careful preparation of simple meals integrate physical care with sensory engagement. Poultices, teas, or crushed herbs are used not only for treatment but as preventive measures, maintaining muscle and joint health and supporting digestion. Ritual observances mark transitions in the day, lighting fires, chanting softly, or offering gratitude to elements of the natural world. Each movement, each scent, each sound invites awareness, slow reflection, and alignment with the body's rhythms and the surrounding environment. Across civilizations, preventive health is defined by a balance of sensory engagement, movement, diet, ritual, and reflection. Daily life is itself a practice with attention woven into routine actions. Washing, preparing meals, moving through space, observing breath, applying oils, and selecting herbs all become exercises in mindfulness, aligning body, mind, and spirit. The subtle rhythm of touch, scent, taste, movement, and observation cultivates both physical resilience and reflective awareness, teaching that wellness is not an isolated act, but a constant engagement with one's surroundings and internal state. Consider an Egyptian morning. The cool Nile water, the warm sun, the fragrance of crushed herbs, and the gentle oil massage as a rhythm guiding posture, breath, and focus. Picture a Greek citizen in a courtyard, balancing exercise, meal preparation, and reflection in a sensory-rich environment. Envision an Indian practitioner walking through a fragrant garden, oil applied to the body, herbal teas sipped mindfully, and breath observed to harmonize mind and body. Visualize a Chinese family preparing meals and practicing Qigong, integrating breath, movement, and observation in alignment with nature's rhythms. Across time and space, these daily routines demonstrate a consistent understanding. Prevention and wellness are cultivated through intentional, immersive, and reflective engagement with life itself. Even mundane tasks, preparing bread, tending animals, cleaning spaces, become rituals of awareness when performed mindfully. The sensation of grains slipping between fingers, the aroma of fresh herbs, the warmth of the sun on skin, and the soft rhythm of movement all engage the senses, reinforcing presence and awareness. In these moments, the ancients were practicing a form of meditation, a slow cultivation of balance that integrates body, mind, and spirit. Their preventive practices were not just practical measures, they were carefully designed to reinforce harmony, resilience, and reflective calm. Imagine yourself moving through such a day, rising with the sun, feeling cool water on your skin, the texture of herbs between fingers, the warmth of sunlight, the scent of tea or bread, the gentle stretch of muscles and the rhythmic rise and fall of breath. Each sensory cue draws attention inward, slowing thought, aligning posture, and calming mind and body. This is the essence of preventive wellness, an immersive, reflective practice woven into the daily rhythm of life, where every touch, scent, taste, and movement supports alignment and restoration. Across civilizations, these daily practices have left a lasting legacy. Modern wellness routines, mindful bathing, gentle exercise, reflective eating, sensory awareness, and meditative breathing echo the rhythms of ancient life. Herbs, teas, oils, and poultices continue to nourish body and mind. Physical activity and stretching are used to maintain flexibility and circulation. Rituals of reflection and meditation, whether in private or communal settings, align with centuries-old practices of mind-body-spirit integration. Ancient wisdom persists in these subtle, everyday actions, reminding us that wellness is a continuous, reflective engagement with life itself. Preventive health is not confined to rare or ceremonial moments. It is embedded in rhythm, attention, and reflection. Across cultures, the ancients understood that the senses are powerful guides. Touch, scent, taste, sight, and sound all inform the state of the body and mind. Mindful observation of these cues, combined with movement, ritual, and dietary attention, fosters resilience, balance, and calm. In modern life, when we pause to notice the warmth of water, the aroma of herbs, the gentle stretch of muscles, or the slow rise and fall of breath, we are continuing a legacy that spans millennia, connecting us to the sensory-rich, reflective wellness practices of ancient civilizations. As we conclude this chapter, carry the gentle awareness of daily life and preventive wellness with you. Imagine the texture of water, the warmth of the sun, the subtle fragrance of herbs, the softness of movement, and the rhythm of breath. Allow each sensory cue to guide you into calm reflection, slowing thought, releasing tension, and aligning body, mind, and spirit. Daily routines become meditative, preventive practices, a living connection to ancient wisdom. Health is cultivated not only in rare rituals or treatments, but in every mindful, sensory-rich act that engages the body, mind and spirit with attention, intention, and reflective calm. In the next chapter, we will explore the role of music, sound, and vibration in ancient healing practices, discovering how auditory senses were integrated with touch, ritual, and herbal therapies to enhance wellness, relaxation, and meditative alignment. As the first part of our journey comes to a close, you've wandered through the earliest whispers of healing, herbs, rituals, and gentle care that shaped how people soothed their bodies and minds. These stories remind us that even in times long past, humanity sought comfort, balance, and wellness. Rest now, traveler, and let the calm of these ancient tales settle around you. When you return, we will continue our quiet exploration, uncovering even more secrets and intricate remedies that guided people in their pursuit of health. So take a deep breath, relax, and let the gentle rhythm of history carry you until the next part begins.